Alright, so if you're watching this video, then you're probably a B2B Martech SaaS company or even a B2B SaaS company or an agency who's just struggling to basically get leads and convert that into demo calls and create ICP messaging and just, learn whole the cold email sequence and structure. However, in this video, I've got you covered. In this video, I'll simply share all the proven steps and strategies that is existing at the moment, how exactly you can create your ICP, how exactly you can set up your infrastructure, and how exactly you can basically create your messaging, your emails, your really personalized emails. And then based on that, you're going to get replies, book them into, I would say, demo calls. And based on those demo calls, you want to close them. So it's the complete structure from starting the campaigns till closing the deals. And believe me, this video is going to be the only video you'll ever need to watch to learn the whole cold email structure for 2025. And for a quick reference, my name is Moise Khurram, and I'm the founder and the CEO of Leadamax. We're a B2B SaaS focused lead generation agency who's solely focused on creating those campaigns, sending those campaigns out to the prospects, getting replies, taking those replies and booking them in for demo calls, and eventually helping our clients to close out such demo calls and eventually streamline their whole sales process. And I'm not going to take much of your time, and we're just going to dive into the nitty-gritty details, right? So I've just compiled the whole document for you guys, and it basically includes all the strategies. This document link will be in the description. All you have to do is just fill out the form, and within 2 minutes, once you fill out the form, within 2 minutes, you'll have the complete document, right? So we're just going to get started with it. All right, this is going to be the ultimate guide to cold emails for B2B SaaS lead generation in 2025. This document is specifically aligned for SaaS companies, but for agencies, they can basically iterate it and implement into their system. First of all, we're going to learn the nitty-gritty details about emails, why they work, and why it's actually better than paid ads and SEO, right? So first of all, why cold emails are the future of B2B SaaS growth. Basically, cold emails have become the go-to strategy for B2B SaaS companies who's actually looking to scale their lead generation, unlike paid ads, which can drain your budget, and SEO, which requires a lot of time, it requires a lot of efforts. And cold emails basically offer a direct, affordable, and highly effective way to generate financially qualified leads and eventually booking them in for demo call, right? So in this guide, you'll learn why cold emails outperform paid ads and SEO. Secondly, you learn how to structure high converting cold emails. Number 3, you learn advanced strategies to elevate your campaigns. And fourthly, tools and automation tips for seamless execution. Fifthly, a proven system for taking leads from initial outreach to close deals. So it's the complete process that I'm just giving out to you guys for free, and literally it's free, right? So first of all, for a quick reference, and here's a quick snapshot of the results we have actually been able to achieve for our clients, right? So it's just a quick details about that. And these are some of the campaigns. This was actually one of our largest campaigns, I personally believe. And yeah, these were some of the test campaigns, and you can clearly see around 2,200,000 and 20, and we were able to get 907, 26% positive reply rate, and some more details why you should trust me and why exactly cold emails work, right? And these are some of the companies we have actually been able to book demo calls for our clients, right? So there's a bunch of it. And based on that, here's the live examples for it. And because I've actually kind of bleeped that out, the whole information, of course, because of the privacy concerns. We do take care of the GDPR and all the privacy concerns. So one of the Walmart, we sent a campaign towards Walmart, and one of them was actually in the Dream 100 list, and we were able to book them in for demo call. And based on that, we were also able to book a demo call with Nike, Liberty Mutual, Motorola, and so on and so forth. The list goes on and on, right? Zendesk and many, many more, right? However, we're just going to get started with the problem with paid ads and SEO. The thing is that with paid ads, they are really good. I won't say they're bad. They're really good. But nowadays, the attention spam has actually kind of converted. Paid ads are becoming really, really expensive if I get a lot of better results. But if it's actually not targeted correctly, you'll have to face high cost the leads will be unqualified, and there will be like a massive challenge in terms of scaling. Secondly, most of the SaaS companies prefer SEO, search engine optimization, right? It's a really good method of, it's more like planting a tree, or like planting a plant into the basically the earth, right? And based on that, the plant eventually grows and grows and grows. However, it normally takes minimum 6 to 12 months basically to rank for competitive keywords. And most of the time, B2B SaaS companies or SMBs or mid companies can't afford it. Of course, enterprise companies can afford it, so that's what they actually do. But one of the suggestions I would like to give you guys, if you're an SMB or mid-sized company, start with cold emails. Once you have actually streamlined the whole process, then move on towards the inbound, or I would say go towards the organic stuff. And based on this organic content marketing, get those leads and add them into the pipeline of outbound. Once you've got the emails, basically email is the best form of, I would say, contact you can possibly get, right? So you want to get the emails, you want to create lead magnets. We'll get into the details further, right? And for SEO, it requires a lot of upfront investment, and the results are just unpredictable. You can't guarantee the results, right? And that is exactly why most of the B2B SaaS companies or agencies, they have massive issue in terms of that. But today, this video is specifically for B2B SaaS companies, right? So we're just gonna dive into the details, right? Why cold emails are the best channel? First of all, really affordable. Cold emails basically cost a fraction of paid ads and SEO efforts with just a modest budget. You can target high quality decision makers directly and generate predictable pipeline of qualified leads and achieve ROI with minimal risk. In cold email, I would say, if you have run a campaign, like a test campaign, and once you've got the test, your messaging works, you can actually predict the results, and that actually does work, right? Secondly, the targeting will be like really precise. With cold emails, you're not just waiting for prospects to come to you, you're actively reaching out to prospect most likely to benefit from your solution by leveraging tools like LinkedIn Sales Navigator and email finders. We'll dive into the tools you can eventually use and how exactly you can find the ICP and personalize the messages based on their role, company role, and pain points. Thirdly, it's really measurable and it's scalable. So the way the whole procedure works is that the amount of is directly related to the quality. If you believe your quality of the prospects you're reaching out is really good, then you should potentially increase the volume as well, right? And open rates are, I would say, kind of dead, so you don't want to track that. So I'll just quickly take that out, right? Open rates, I won't recommend to basically track open rates at all. It has got HTML in it, and HTML is like a transparent form of like an image, I would say, and you just don't want to send. You want to test the A/B testing, your subject lines, your first lines, your CTA, and even messaging, right? So there are some scalable tools basically you can use to ensure outreach delivers into the inbox without actually compromising the personalization, right? And speed to results. Fourthly, speed to results. Unlike SEO or ads, cold emails can generate replies and demo bookings within days of just launching campaign. All you have to do is just simply warm up the emails for like 2 to 3 weeks. Once that has been done, send out the campaigns, and within weeks or just days, you'll see the results, right? So first of all, who this is for. So this is specifically for established B2B SaaS companies who are actually generating for over 25,000 in ARR, and they have got a solid product, they have got a solid software, and they have case studies, they have the capacity to fulfill that. And it's all because if they're ambitious. If they are actually ambitious, then they know what are the next steps they surely need to follow, right? That being said, here's a quick value proposition, at least from my side. If you've got a really good product, you have got happy customers, and more case studies, and a market who basically needs your product. So it all comes to the point, if your product actually solves a problem, then there is a high chances of your product being able to scale to a certain limit that you actually want to. This normally occurs between 25,000 till I would say 7 million in ARR. You've got solid case studies, a great product, you've got happy customers, right? And expanding your pipeline with basically new sales opportunity is going to be your greatest contributor to you reaching the next level of your revenue growth. And yeah, so it's all about targeting the right decision makers. Now we're going to dive into the nitty-gritty details, the meat and potatoes, right? So this is the whole process: infrastructure setup, domains, inboxes, the whole infrastructure. Then we're going to learn about go-to-market setup, identifying your ideal customer profile and the right person. Then lead generation, launching marketing campaigns to generate new qualified leads. Fourthly, appointment setting, how exactly you can do appointment setting. Lastly, closing out those deals. And you can also book a demo, an intro call with me, and in the call we'll discuss what's your product like, what are the problems you're facing at the moment, and how exactly we can drive a perfect solution. Or if you cannot, then you can part your ways on the other hand, right? Right. So this is going to be a quick workflow that I've just made. So first of all, you want to create a really compelling offer for cold traffic. Then you want to have VSL, it's known as video sales letter, and landing page design should be like really, really nice, and it should kind of target your whole brand theme. Of course, for mine, it's going to be red and blue, right? And it's a complete sales funnel, right? So you want to have the cold email, Dream 100 list. You want to create YouTube content, LinkedIn organic outreach, and you want to create organic content for LinkedIn as well as Twitter. We're also going to repurpose that. I've also made a couple of videos for LinkedIn and Twitter, or known as X. You can simply watch that out, and that is also the complete master class for LinkedIn as well as X, right? Then is the whole sales funnel. Then it's going to be the whole fulfillment funnel. We're going to dive deeper into that. So there are a few more results, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. We were able to send 6,118 emails. Based on that, we got 210 replies, and 88 of them were like positive replies. So it's almost like 50%. So the way cold email work is that I would say normally for a quick infrastructure setup, you want to have an admin panel. Based on that, you want to have a maximum 10 domains, I would say. Under every single domain, you want to have 2 to 3 inboxes, right? Then you want to have a sending automation platform. I'll just zoom that in. Yep. You want to have a sending automation platform, and based on that, you want to have a platform from which you can actually get leads, the database. You can use Crunchbase, you can use Apollo, or even other software that you would prefer. Even Lemlist, even instantly has got its own database. And based on that, you want to create risk reduction offer, direct offer. There's also a Loom video strategy. Most of the companies are taking basically they're taking advantage of it. You want to have case study and strategies. Nextly, you want to because all of these you are going to get responses, and then there's actually going to be inbox manager or subsequence automation. You can do that in Smart Data as well, and based on that, you'll get meetings and eventually paying clients. However, there are more steps into that is really detailed. If you have actually got a client, or if you have not got a client, there are more branches into it. For example, if the client is not interested, if the prospect isn't interested, you want to add them into lead nurturing pipeline. So it's a whole process out there, right? Now we're going to dive into the nitty-gritty details. Yeah, let me just... Alright, so infrastructure setup, and this is going to be a really detailed deliverability foundation. So when it comes to cold email outreach, simply crafting the perfect message is not enough. The real magic happens behind the scenes, where a robust infrastructure ensures that you have basically carefully written your emails that actually land into the recipient's inbox and not actually landing into the spam folder. So this is going to be a really detailed setup that actually guarantees the emails are going to land into the prospect inbox. Nowadays, Google, Microsoft, they have basically increased the spam filters a lot and it's more strict. So in order to avoid that, you want to follow this structure, and this structure is going to be the same structure we're going to use for our agency, that is Leadamax, right? So the backbone of email deliverability begins with the domains that is being used to send those emails. So domains are going to be the first line of defense in order to protect your reputation, right? In order to protect that reputation, and we don't take this lightly. Of course, you want to take that seriously. You don't want to use your primary domain. So the whole concept of the emails being landing into the spam inbox. It's all because the more amount of spam reports on your emails is equal to the more amount of your emails being landed into the spam inbox. That's the formula. It doesn't matter how many emails you send. In order to avoid that, we normally basically send 25 to 30 emails per inbox. However, in order to avoid that, you want to use that number. But we have actually run a campaign test as well. It was an experiment. We used one of the inbox. We sent out the messaging towards a list of prospects, and we only used one inbox to send 1,000 email messages. Next day, we actually sent that in whole one day, right? Next day, I was able to basically send a test email back to my primary email and actually got the message, and it didn't land in the spam inbox. Reason being, so the more amount of people that actually mark you as spam is equal to the more amount of your emails or your inbox being landing into the spam, right? So first of all, domain acquisition, we normally purchase 9 separate domains. It can be Namecheap. Really depends on the number of emails you want to send, right? Really depends. So if you are buying one domain, you're going to have 2 inboxes, and based on every single inbox, you want to send 20 to 30 emails. So that's like 60 emails per domain, right? And you can use Namecheap, Porkburn, or you can use GoDaddy. There's a bunch of software, I would say, platforms out there. And you want to use those platforms which are not marked as, I would say, blacklisted. They're not blacklisted. You can check that, simply check that into the MX Toolbox. If so, you want to simply contact the customer support, and you simply want to ask them to change the IP address of that specific domain, right? Based on that, you want to use clean and trusted domains that are really critical, because email providers such as Gmail or Outlook, etc., access the sending domain repetition when declining whether to deliver your emails or not. All right, so here's a quick reference in terms of the primary versus subdomains. So instead of relying on a single domain for all email activities, we set up primary domains for internal emails that is being used to send to clients, that is being used to send to my co-founder, right? And we use subdomains. For example, I would say mail at leadamax.com or anything like that, right? Mail at getleadamax.com, something like that, for outbound email campaigns. Basically, this strategy protects the main domain's repetition from the potential fallout of a poorly performing email campaign, as a subdomain acts as a buffer, right? So the reason why it works is that by diversifying across multiple domains and subdomains, we protect the integrity of the primary domain and basically distribute the risk. In case one subdomain experiences issues, the other remain unaffected, right? And basically ensures the consistent deliverability. So this approach actually makes sure the email services like Google or Yahoo basically view our emails as more trustworthy, improving the inbox placement. So secondly, email authentication protocols and proving you are who. So here comes the email authentication protocols, and basically proves who exactly who's the person who's going to send the emails, right? So in order to protect our emails from being marked as suspicious or fraudulent, we have implemented all the necessary email authentication protocols. These measures not only safeguard our reputation, but also ensure that our emails actually reach the inbox and not spam folders. So here's a quick summary. What is SPF, DKIM, DMARC? These are known as DNS records, if you don't know. So it's going to be a sender policy framework. SPF records are added to the DNS setting of each domain to define which mail servers are allowed to send emails on behalf of that domain. By doing this, we actually reduce the risk of email spoofing, where someone might try to impersonate our domain. Secondly, DKIM, domain keys identified mail. DKIM allows us to digitally sign our emails using a private key, and it basically ensures that the email content has not been altered during transit. When you're actually sending the email, it makes sure that any other person or you're not kind of interpreting with the email and just changing the content, right? Lastly, DMARC. DMARC basically works in tandem with SPF and DKIM, and It basically aligns the authentication results to create more comprehensive anti-spoofing defense. It also gives us valuable insights into any unauthorized email activity that may be happening to our domain. So the whole concept is to understand what SPF is, DKIM is, DMARC is, and how exactly you can set it. There are a bunch of tutorials out there on YouTube. It really depends. If you're using Porkburn, there's a different setup. If you're using GoDaddy, there's a different setup. If you're using Namecheap, there's a different setup, right? So based on that, you simply want to understand that how exactly it's going to work. And DNS records and all these details basically reduces the chances of our emails being marked as spam or even phishing attempts, right? Thirdly is going to be inbox configuration. Basically it's actually about fostering a positive sender repetition, even if you have a pristine domain setup. So the repetition of your inbox is really crucial. It's not about sending emails. It's all about sending them from the inboxes that are trusted by the ISPs. ISPs are known as Internet Service Provider, and ESPs are known as Email Service Provider. So first of all, for Google Workspace accounts, we normally set up 27 individual Google Workspace accounts, which are widely regarded for their strong repetition and among ISPs. Google infrastructure and IP repetition, they're highly trusted, which actually means that emails sent from their servers are far more likely to land into the inbox. There's actually a step that is known as the ESP matching. What it does is that the Google mail is sent to the mail related to Google, and the Microsoft mail is sent to the mail related to Microsoft, and SMTP to SMTPs, right? And based on that, it really varies. And there's actually a step known as warm-up process, a really crucial step. And yeah, so each inbox basically undergoes a warming process over several weeks to build a positive sender history, which basically starts with sending a small number of emails per day and gradually increasing the desired volume. So we actually mimic the natural sending behavior by sending emails to trusted contacts and just receiving those replies. What you can do, you can use any software like SmartLead, Lemlist, or Lemworm. You can use that. Just add your domains, add your email inboxes, and just kind of automate that. You just want to choose the email copy and just send it out. And after 2-3 weeks, your email inboxes will be good to go. Right? So inbox warming is a really crucial step because sending too many emails too quickly can actually trigger red flags. So gradually increasing the sending volume actually allows the ISPs to see your inbox as reliable. Thus, it actually improves the deliverability rates. Moreover, by using established platforms like Google Workspace, we actually can leverage the robust infrastructure to further enhance our sender repetition. So there are furthermore tools, there are dedicated tools for monitoring the deliverability. To make sure our emails are being sent correctly and actually reaching the inboxes, we continuously monitor deliverability and sender repetition. Without proper monitoring, you can't track if your emails are being blocked or misclassified as spam. So first of all, MX Toolbox, really good tool. This is a kind of like a diagnostic tool that allows us to check our SPF, DKIM, DMARC, and configurations for accuracy. If anything goes wrong, we'll get to know and we'll simply solve it as per the issue. And there's actually another tool, Google Postmaster Tools. And Google basically provides a wealth of tools on our email campaigns, such as delivery errors, spam, comply rates, and sender repetition. By using these tools, we can track how our emails are performing and make adjustments accordingly. And there's another one, Postmark DMARC reports. So we normally receive detailed DMARC reports, which actually gives us a snapshot of how our emails are performing across various ISPs. And these reports basically help us identify any potential weakness in our authentication setup, or if DNS records have not been set up correctly, and basically finds out the ways and the areas for improvement. So why it works, and monitoring deliverability actually ensures we catch any issues early without actually increasing, or I would say without hurting the domains too much, right? Whether they're related to authentication failures, domain repetition drops, or delivery errors, right? Without these tools, we wouldn't have any visibility into what's actually happening with our emails. Fifthly, IP and sending strategy. You want to protect your IP reputation. The IP address from which you send emails plays a really significant part and role in your email deliverability. If an IP actually gets flagged for sending spam, an email from the IP will eventually get blocked entirely, right? So if you're living in US and one of your home IP is actually blocked, then all of your domains under that admin account is actually going to be blocked as well. So you want to have such Google or Microsoft infrastructure through which your IPs aren't being blocked, right? So we have actually cracked the code. So what you want to do is you want to have dynamic IP usage. While we primarily, so what you want to do is you want to have dynamic IP usage. You want to use Google's shared IP infrastructure, which actually benefits from their strong reputation of Google's overall network, right? We also carefully manage our sending behavior. So you want to do that as well, right? So this all reduces the risk of our emails being flagged, right? And you also want to do segmentation by IP repetition. You want to monitor the repetition of your IP addresses, and depending on the engagement and the performance of your emails, you want to send high engagement emails through trusted IPs to improve your inbox placement. Reason being, it's all because IP repetition is a really big deal for email deliverability. By using a mix of dynamic and trusted IPs, we spread out the risk and basically ensure that emails sent from the high repetition IPs are more likely to land into the inbox. The more consistently you send valuable, engaging emails, and the better your IP repetition becomes. It basically increases your overall deliverability. Lastly, security measures, and basically want to make sure your emails are spam free and the campaigns are spam free, right? Email security is essential for preventing hackers from exploiting your infrastructure. Without strong security tools, you're at risk and risk of just sending emails from compromised accounts, right? So there's actually going to be a step for two-step verification. We basically implemented the 2FA, or known as two-step verification, across all our Google Workspace, Microsoft accounts to ensure unauthorized parties can't access our emails, our inboxes. This extra layer basically ensures these security prevents from email hijacking, or ensures emails are sent securely. You want to have backup domains. Really, really, really important. If even after applying all of those measures, even because of your messaging, because of any single part, your email or domain gets blocked, you want to have extra domains. It's all because to safeguard against any unforeseen issues, we maintain backup domains that are configured identically to the main ones, right? If any domain experiences problems, we can quickly switch them back to the backup without any downtime. So you also want to kind of warm up those backup domains as well. So why it works with hackers, increasingly they're just increasing, right? They're targeting the email systems, and the security is non-negotiable. You want to set up the two-step authentication. You want to have backup domains. The whole procedure is to basically make sure your emails don't land into the spam. You want to build trust, engagement, and you want to have long-term deliverability. If you don't want to have that, you can use Hypertide. The Hypertide is somewhere like you are buying 2 domains, and based on those 2 domains, they'll have 15 boxes under every single domain. I won't prefer that. If you're using Smartlead, go ahead. If you're using Lemlist, do not, because in Lemlist it's going to be really, really expensive for you. Reason being, for Lemlist, like $200 for 15 email inboxes to like add that into that. And for a quick reference, Lemlist is an email sending outreach tool, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And if you want to set up Hypertide, go ahead. Most of the people are doing that, but I personally won't recommend that, right? So these are going to be the more details, and then the go-to-market setup is actually going to be in the next video. So for the initial video, we have covered the whole email infrastructure setup. So we covered the domain setup and configuration, and how exactly you're going to set up the subdomains. Yep. Based on the subdomains, I forgot a really important point, really important point. If your company name is Bolt, right, and the main domain is bolt.com, you want to buy the other domain as getbolt.com. You want to buy the other domain as salesbolt.com, somewhere like that. And based on that, your name, for example, your name is, I would say, Moise, right? Let's take Moise example. So Moise at bolt.com, Moise at getbolt.com, Moise at salesbolt.com, somewhere like that. You want to like those inboxes being set up, right? So this is going to be the first guide and the infrastructure setup, and the next GTM guide, that is going to be that one. Every single video will be made separately. I know it might be a pretty long video, but still it's going to be really helpful for you guys. And I'll also have the document link in description. You can simply check it out. And yep, till then, peace.